Welcome back everyone, and thank you so much for joining today. If you love hidden treasures, surprising stories, and the idea that everyday pocket change could secretly be worth a fortune, you are absolutely in the right place. Today's story is about one ordinary-looking coin that turned out to be anything but ordinary. A coin that millions of people may have spent without a second thought, yet under the right circumstances can be worth an unbelievable amount of money. We are diving deep into the fascinating story of the Liberty $quarter from 1981, minted in Philadelphia, a coin with a simple face value of 25 cents that, due to rare errors, unusual mistakes, and extraordinary minting possibilities, has been linked to values reaching as high as $337,000 or more. This is not a fantasy, not a rumor, but a powerful reminder that sometimes history, chance, and tiny imperfections can combine to create something incredibly valuable. At first glance, the 1981 Liberty $quarter looks like a normal Washington quarter that most Americans grew up seeing every day. It carries the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front, facing left, with the word Liberty boldly displayed across the top. The motto "In God We Trust" sits neatly beside Washington's profile, while the date 1981 appears at the bottom. On the reverse, the majestic bald eagle stands proudly with wings spread, clutching arrows and an olive branch, a powerful symbol of strength and peace. United States of America and E Pluribus Unum frame the design, with $quarter clearly stating its denomination. Nothing about this coin screams rare at first glance, and that is exactly why so many of these valuable examples slip through unnoticed. The year 1981 was a very interesting time for United States coinage. The U.S. Mint was producing massive quantities of coins to meet everyday demand. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark or sometimes a small P on later coins, struck hundreds of millions of quarters that year. Speed and efficiency were top priorities. When production moves fast, small mistakes can happen, and those mistakes are exactly what collectors look for today. Most 1981 quarters are worth exactly 25 cents. However, a tiny fraction were struck with errors so dramatic and rare that they transformed an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. One of the most important factors behind the extraordinary value of certain 1981 quarters is minting errors that occurred during the striking process. Coin minting involves multiple steps: creating the metal blanks, washing and preparing them, striking them with dies under immense pressure, and inspecting the final product. When even one of these steps goes wrong, the result can be a unique coin. In 1981, the high-speed production environment increased the chance of such errors slipping past quality control. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1981 Liberty $quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned between the dies during striking. Instead of the design being perfectly centered, part of it is missing, while a blank crescent of metal appears on one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, especially if the date and Liberty remain visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some extreme off-center 1981 quarters have sold for thousands of dollars, and in exceptional cases, combined with pristine condition, they have been associated with much higher valuations. Another powerful error that can push the value of a 1981 quarter into astonishing territory is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin receives a misaligned impression during its creation, causing the final coin to show doubling in certain design elements. On a 1981 quarter, doubling might appear on the word Liberty, the date, "In God We Trust," or even on Washington's profile. True double die errors are rare and must be distinguished from machine doubling, which is far less valuable. Authentic double die quarters from this year are intensely studied by collectors, and strong examples can command enormous premiums. Planchet errors are another fascinating category that can elevate a 1981 Liberty $quarter to extraordinary value levels. A planchet is the blank piece of metal that becomes a coin. Sometimes planchets are improperly mixed, incorrectly sized, or flawed before striking. One of the most dramatic possibilities is a quarter struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter design struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank. Such an error would result in a coin that is smaller, lighter, and visually shocking. These wrong planchet errors are among the rarest and most valuable in U.S. coinage. If a 1981p quarter were struck on an incorrect planchet and survived in excellent condition, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars or more, depending on the specifics. Another astonishing error type is the broad strike error. This happens when a coin is struck without the retaining collar that normally gives it its reeded edge and proper diameter. The result is a coin that spreads out wider than normal, with a flattened appearance and missing or distorted edge reeds. Broad-struck 1981p quarters with sharp details and minimal wear are highly collectible. When combined with other errors or exceptional condition, these coins can reach remarkable values. Die breaks and cut errors also play a major role in the high-value possibilities of the 1981p Liberty quarter. Over time, dies can crack or break due to the immense pressure used to strike coins. When a piece of the die breaks away, it creates a raised blob of metal on the coin known as a cud. Large, dramatic cuds on Washington's head, the rim, or the reverse eagle are especially desirable. The more visually striking and unusual the cud, the more collectors are willing to pay. Some major cud errors from this era have sold for impressive sums, and rare examples tied to specific die states can be extremely valuable. Strike-through errors are another category that can transform a common quarter into a high-dollar collectible. These occur when a foreign object, such as grease, cloth, wire, or metal shavings, gets between the die and the planchet during striking. The result is an area of missing or distorted design where the object blocked the strike. Each strike-through error is unique, making these coins especially appealing to collectors. A dramatic strike-through on a 1981p quarter, particularly one that affects key design elements, can significantly increase its value. Mint mark errors also play a crucial role in the story of valuable 1981 quarters. While Philadelphia quarters from this year typically do not have a mint mark, any anomaly related to mint identification becomes extremely interesting. Transitional dies, misattributed mint characteristics, or unusual die varieties can create confusion and excitement among collectors. Coins that challenge expectations often draw strong interest and high prices. Condition is another massive factor that separates a valuable 1981p quarter from an ordinary one. Coins are graded on a scale that evaluates wear, luster, strike quality, and surface preservation. Most quarters from circulation show wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. However, a small number were preserved in near-perfect or flawless condition. A high-grade 1981p quarter with a major error is exponentially more valuable than the same error coin in worn condition. In rare cases, coins that combine extreme errors with top-tier grades have reached headline-making prices at auction. Another intriguing possibility involves experimental or transitional metal compositions. While quarters in 1981 were primarily copper-nickel clad, the mint has a long history of testing different materials and processes. Any quarter from this year that shows unusual weight, color, or metallic properties becomes an instant subject of intense examination. If authenticated, such anomalies can skyrocket in value. The collector market itself also plays a role in pushing values higher. Coin collecting is driven by rarity, demand, story, and condition. The more mysterious and dramatic the story behind a coin, the more collectors compete to own it. A 1981p Liberty quarter with a unique combination of errors becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a piece of history that cannot be replicated. When multiple collectors want the same rare piece, prices can climb rapidly. There is also the psychological element of discovery. Many valuable error coins were found by ordinary people checking pocket change, old jars, inherited collections, or bank rolls. The idea that a 25-cent coin could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars fuels excitement and curiosity. This is why so many people continue to examine their coins closely, hoping to find something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Professional authentication is essential when dealing with a coin potentially worth large sums of money. Reputable grading services examine weight, diameter, metal composition, strike characteristics, and microscopic details to confirm authenticity. A genuine, major errors carry certified 1981p quarter with far more credibility and market value than an uncertified example. Now, my dear, if you love fascinating stories about hidden wealth, rare discoveries, and everyday objects that turn out to be worth unimaginable fortunes, then you are absolutely in the right place. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and intriguing coins in modern American numismatics, the Liberty $quarter 1984 U.S.A. coin. At first glance, this coin looks like nothing more than ordinary pocket change, a simple quarter worth just 25 cents. Yet under extraordinary circumstances, because of rare errors, minting mistakes, mint mark anomalies, and unique combinations of features, this coin can reach a mind-blowing valuation of $518,000 million. That incredible difference between face value and potential worth is what makes this coin so captivating, and by the end of this journey, you may never look at a quarter the same way again. The 1984 Liberty $quarter comes from a time when millions of quarters were being produced every year to meet the needs of everyday commerce. Most people who use these coins never imagined that any one of them could be worth more than its face value. They were spent at gas stations, dropped into parking meters, tossed into jars, or forgotten in drawers. But in the world of coin collecting, value is not defined by how common something appears at first glance. Instead, value is created by rarity, uniqueness, condition, and historical significance. Sometimes, that rarity comes from something going wrong at the mint, and sometimes, those mistakes are so rare that they transform an everyday coin into a legendary treasure. Liberty has long been one of the most powerful symbols in American coinage. The idea of liberty represents freedom, independence, and the core ideals of the nation. Even as coin designs evolved over time, the spirit of liberty remained central to American money. The 1984 quarter carries this symbolic weight, but what truly sets certain examples apart is not the design itself, but the circumstances under which the coin was created. During the 1980s, the United States Mint relied on advanced machinery and strict quality control, yet errors still occurred. Machines wear down, dies crack, planchets are misfed, and human oversight plays a role. When these issues align in just the wrong way, something extraordinary can be created. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark, is the oldest mint in the United States and has a reputation for consistency and quality. Coins from this mint are generally expected to be well struck and uniform. That is precisely why errors from the Philadelphia Mint are so fascinating. When a coin with dramatic mistakes escapes from a mint known for precision, it immediately captures attention. The 1984 Liberty $quarter has become especially intriguing because certain rare examples are believed to feature multiple errors occurring together, creating coins that are virtually one of a kind. One of the most important factors behind the extreme potential value of this quarter is the presence of multiple errors on a single coin. A single minor error might make a coin interesting, but a coin with several significant errors becomes something truly extraordinary. The most valuable examples of the 1984 Liberty $quarter are believed to show errors that occurred at different stages of the minting process. These layered mistakes create a coin that cannot easily be replicated and that tells a unique story of mechanical failure, chance, and history. Planchet errors are among the most dramatic and valuable types of mistakes that can occur. A planchet is the blank metal disc that is struck to create a coin. If the wrong planchet is used, the results can be astonishing. A quarter struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a dime or a nickel, would immediately stand out due to differences in size, weight, and thickness. Even more extraordinary would be a quarter struck on a foreign planchet or an experimental planchet made from an unusual metal. Such errors are extremely rare and instantly elevate a coin's value into a completely different category. Another fascinating planchet-related possibility is an incomplete or improperly prepared planchet. If the metal blank was not fully formed or was missing part of its material, the resulting coin could show missing sections, uneven thickness, or unusual shapes. These kinds of errors are visually striking and highly desirable to collectors because they clearly demonstrate that something went wrong before the coin was even struck. Off-center strikes are another major source of value for error coins. An off-center strike occurs when the planchet is not properly aligned in the press at the moment of striking. This can cause part of the design to be missing or shifted dramatically to one side. Minor off-center strikes are not uncommon, but extreme off-center strikes that still show the full date and mint mark are exceptionally rare. A 1984p Liberty quarter dollar with a dramatic off-center strike could be instantly recognizable and highly sought after, especially if combined with other errors. Broad strikes are another type of striking error that can dramatically increase value. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the collar that normally holds the planchet in place. This causes the metal to spread outward, resulting in a coin that is wider and thinner than normal. The design may appear stretched or distorted, creating a unique and visually dramatic appearance. A broad-struck 1984p quarter in high condition would be an extraordinary find. Double strikes and multiple strikes add another layer of intrigue. These errors occur when a coin is struck more than once, often at different angles. The result can be overlapping images, distorted designs, and surreal visual effects. A double-struck 1984p Liberty quarter dollar, especially one that also shows off-center striking or planchet errors, would be considered a major numismatic rarity. Double die errors are among the most famous and valuable types of minting mistakes. These errors occur during the creation of the die itself, not during the striking of the coin. If the die receives multiple impressions that are slightly misaligned, every coin struck from that die will show doubling in certain design elements. On a 1984p quarter, this doubling might appear in the date, the word Liberty or other lettering. Strong, clear double die errors are far rarer than post-mint damage and are highly prized by collectors. Mint mark errors play a crucial role in the potential value of the 1984p Liberty quarter dollar. By 1984, the Philadelphia Mint was using the P mint mark on quarters. Errors involving the mint mark can take several forms. A missing mint mark might result from a grease-filled die or debris blocking the mint mark area. A doubled mint mark can occur if the mint mark punch was misaligned or applied more than once. A misplaced mint mark, where the P appears in an unusual location, can also occur due to die preparation issues. Each of these mint mark anomalies significantly increases a coin's rarity and desirability. Die cracks and die breaks are another source of extraordinary value. As dies are used repeatedly, they can develop cracks due to stress and metal fatigue. These cracks appear on coins as raised lines, often cutting through design elements. In more extreme cases, pieces of the die can break away entirely, creating large raised areas known as cuds. A 1984p Liberty quarter dollar with a dramatic die break that alters the coin's appearance in a noticeable way would be considered a major error and highly collectible. Strike-through errors add yet another dimension to the story. These occur when a foreign object interferes with the striking process. Grease, cloth fibers, metal shavings, or other debris can block part of the die, resulting in missing or distorted design elements. A clear and dramatic strike-through error on a 1984p quarter would be extremely desirable, particularly if it affects important areas of the design. Weight anomalies are often the first clue that something unusual is going on. A standard quarter has a specific weight, and any significant deviation can indicate a wrong planchet or missing metal. Collectors often use precise digital scales to measure coins down to fractions of a gram. A 1984p Liberty quarter dollar that weighs significantly more or less than expected would immediately raise excitement and prompt further investigation. Condition is one of the most critical factors in determining a coin's value. A coin with extraordinary errors but heavy wear may still be valuable, but a coin with the same errors in near-perfect or mint-state condition can be worth exponentially more. If a 1984p Liberty quarter dollar with multiple major errors somehow avoided circulation and remained pristine, its value could reach levels that seem almost impossible to believe. Professional authentication and grading are essential when dealing with a coin that could be worth such an enormous amount. A coin believed to be worth $518,000 million must be examined by experts and graded by reputable services. These professionals analyze the coin's metal composition, weight, strike quality, die characteristics, and surface preservation. Only after passing this rigorous process can a coin be officially recognized as a genuine numismatic treasure. The story of discovery often adds to a coin's mystique and value. Many of the world's most famous error coins were found by ordinary people doing ordinary things.